Hello, this is Prime135 back again to try a review once more. Last time I tried this, I honestly found my voice quite irritating on camera. We'll see if that holds true here again, but let's give this a try. So here we have Takara Tomy MP-11NT thrust. So yeah, I just got this guy in from Big Bad Toy Store, and he looks pretty nice here in jet mode. He's got some issues, just like all the other MP-11 Seekers, but that's more of a robot mode kind of thing. So here in jet mode, mine does have one issue in particular I'll talk about here in a second. We have the new collapsible null rays that I really like. Allows for them to be displayed along with these nice toy accurate missile pods. Something I really appreciate because thrust was the only G1 conehead I had when I inherited my older brother's G1 transformers. So mine has one issue here in jet mode that I kind of find annoying. If you look here, see this side and this side, and on the back you see they're pretty even, right? Well, when I got this guy transformed for the first time, this side was bent pretty bad. So I figured out that this whole mechanism is on a slider, and there's a channel in here that this entire thing is on. Now, mine, I don't know if it's misformed or what, but if I even remotely bump this, you see that? Comes out of the channel. And it'll stay on there, but it's really annoying and it makes his wings look all lopsided. I mean, it's something I'm willing to deal with because I'm just happy to have this guy in hand. And now it's not gonna... Give me a second. Okay. But, you know, whatever. Your results may vary. It's a Hasbro Asia piece. I mean, yeah. They're not renowned for their quality control. Also, I'd like to address something here in robot mode, or in, sorry, jet mode that I personally find annoying, but I don't think a lot of people will. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Decepticon logos visible in jet mode. That translates to 4 visible in robot mode if you follow the instructions. I don't always follow the instructions. We'll get to that when we get to it. In the cartoon, there were only 3, and I see why they did what they did, but I personally find it annoying. Also, these are kind of loose, but that's just kind of a thing that bothers me because there's no stopping point. That's an issue I have with things that rotate on Transformers. But here he is. And we'll do a couple of comparisons. Here he is with my BB7 knockoff Skywarp. So you can see how they look together. Haven't applied Decepticon logos to his wings yet because I have to special order them, but it looks pretty good. Here he is with his other conehead buddy that has been released so far, Ramjet. See them there. Ah! Okay, and just because I'm sure there's somebody out there watching this that doesn't have any of the MP Seekers, here he is with First Edition Starscream, because I've got him right here next to me. And he's big, as are all the MP-11 mold Seekers. And just because it's here next to me, here he is with a Dino Riders Monoclonius. Yeah, there's that. Okay, I think that about covers it here in jet mode. Oh, spinning turbines, love that. Something that wasn't on the original toy that I always kind of wished was. But Since I haven't seen anybody else cover it, I will go ahead and skip to robot mode. I'll put a little timestamp in the video description if you want to skip over it. Okay, so first thing we want to do is, well, first, you don't have to remove these, and I prefer not to, just rotate them around where they will not be as visible in robot mode. Like so. And you just want to come up here, untab the wings, fold them down, like so. And then you can go ahead and pull the legs out. We'll go ahead and get the legs down. So I had the wheels flipped out, I had the landing gear flipped out, just flip those in. Take the feet, down and spin, down and spin. And then you can spread the legs. And then come around here to the back, flip open this panel, bring down that engine detailing, form the heel spur. And standing, you can bring the wing sections up. And this is one area where that does become secure. Wait here, let me do the other side. Once I get it in this configuration, I once again have to make sure that this side hasn't popped out of the channel, which I think we're good. Okay, and go up. And this is how I leave the tail fins. You can choose to have them displayed like so. With the other Decepticon logo, I think that's too many for one bot, but that's just me. So I leave them like that. Also like the G1 toy. Okay. Bring out the arms. Grab the chest here and separate it. Then you can come around here to the back, poke this section out from underneath, bring it up, and then come around the nose cone, flip this section down. Oh, first, put the little door open, put the landing gear in like so, and close it up. Okay, bring that piece down, nose cone down, and through the abdomen, not unlike the original. Now this is something new for Ramjet that's carried over here to thrust because he's also a cone head. So pull the head out, rotate the upper half of the cockpit, and then continue pushing it down like so. Bring this piece through and leave it right there. That's kind of an issue with the cone heads in general. This piece is just kind of hanging down there, but it doesn't really bug me. I'm just happy to have this guy, if I'm being honest. Okay. Bring those sections, bring these down, and push in the, so everything's out of the way, push the chest down like so. Bring these intakes forward, rotate, rock the head back like so, and turn it around to face the front. Alright, scratch that. Halfway, rotate, all the way. And we'll address, you hear all that rattling, we'll address that here in a bit. Okay, bring the arms down like so. Rotate at the bicep. Hands down. Okay, and then bring this armature, rotate it like so. Bring the half null ray up. Form the full thing. Same thing on this side. twist, bring hand down, bring the thumb out, I mean, you can do it in whatever order you want, but yeah. Like so, and I think that's it. So here is Thrust in his robot mode. I think he looks pretty good. Looks like he did in the cartoon. And that's, oh wait, one more thing. So, okay, on my Ramjet, okay, this and this little black section in here are more or less attached, okay? So when you bring this up, that comes out. On this guy, not so much. You can push that in and it won't move this, and vice versa. If you want to bring this up, you gotta push this all the way down and back up. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, and now, robot mode. Okay. Yeah, looks like he did in the show. When talks first started up on the boards about cone heads, this guy was the one I was most looking forward to, and aesthetically, he doesn't disappoint at all. Now, as far as solidity, you can see that. Floppy. Very floppy. This is kind of an issue for me on all of my Seekers except for the Hasbro Asia Thundercracker. He's pretty sturdy, and then the BB7 knockoff Skywarp. That one is solid as a rock. I would recommend them all day if you don't have the official Seeker or the Japanese Seekers yet. They are really great, pretty cheap for what you're getting, etc. Yeah, so but I paid full price for a lot of the tech. And my phone just died, so we're back again. Still taking a look at Thundercracker, and as I was saying, yes, I paid full price for Takara MP-11 Starscream, MP-11T Thundercracker, MP-11NR Ramjet, and MP-11NT Thrust. And I have to say, of all of those, I don't really regret them, but like I was saying before, I think all of them are quite floppy, except for Thundercracker. Anyway, back to Thrust. So, just taking a look at this guy, some of the detailing on him, I think he looks great. Looks like he stepped right out of the G1 cartoon, which is a good thing if you ask me. Okay, the head sculpt here. I don't know if you can tell, but that is some nice metallic shiny gold there on the eyes. Love the color there on the face. I do have a little tiny, I don't even know if you can see it. You probably can't. Nick there in the nose. Focus. Yeah. It doesn't actually go all the way through the paint, but it is an unfortunate blemish, if you ask me. Okay. First video review in a while. Okay, articulation. Here at the shoulders, just like all the other Seekers, ratchet back and forth, brings up the chest, but not nearly as bad as before. Yeah. Starscream is worse. Simple hinge in and out, rotation at the bicep, double jointed elbow, rotation at the wrist, the fingers the same as all the other, ball jointed lower knuckle on the index finger, hinge at the tip. These three are the same but all together. Then we have a ball joint here on the thumb. The head is on a ball joint, which I don't really like, but whatever, gives you a nice range of motion. I prefer the hinge swivel for the neck on Masterpiece figures. Here at the waist, it's not supposed to move, and this is a problem a lot of people have had with this guy. So if you look, if you pull it apart here, and look down in there, if you can see that shiny bit there, that's the pin that holds the waist onto the upper body. Yeah, it's not all the way in there, and because of that, he's kinda very floppy. I mean, not overly so as compared to all the other ones, but oh my gosh, I'm about to break it. Okay. But yeah, it's a nuisance. There is a fix. You can take that out with a soldering iron, replace it with a screw with a washer on it. That's something I may consider doing, but not right now. Come down here to the legs, ratchet forward, ratchet back, kind of impeded by the giant wings on his thighs, but you know, that's how thrusted goes. Knee joint, actually pretty good, all things considered. Stay. There, okay. This actually is a double jointed knee, but that doesn't really work for anything besides chicken legging him if he didn't want to stand. Shout out to everyone with the MP-11NT seekers. And then, I mean, you can rotate his foot, but that doesn't really do anything. It kind of just stands there. So, yeah, that's it for articulation. You can move the null rays around on this. That happens a lot. On this armature. But I just kind of get him straight with his shoulders and leave it. Okay, here he is, and do a couple of size comparisons, and then I'll kind of give an overview on this guy. So first up, let's show him off with the Air Commander himself, Starscream. And as you can see, they look good together. I mean, why wouldn't they? You know, yeah. it's a remold of Starscream, just like it always was. And yeah, that's that. Here he is with MP-29 Commander Shockwave. Actually about the same height, but I've got Shockwave's waist collapsed, so let's... There we go. Pull that out. And with his waist fully extended, Shockwave is just a hair taller at the face. Not really at the head, because he's got the whole cone head thing going on, but, you know... Sorry, my filming setup is my phone taped to a tripod, so you can guess how that's going. There we go. Here he is with Marvel Legends Doctor Strange. For the non-Transformer collectors, if any of you decide to watch this video. So, yeah. And I think that about covers it. He looks good. I mean, overall, here's what I'm going to say. If you started the car jets, you kind of have to get him. He's kind of a necessity. If you like thrust, he's pretty great. Looks like thrust. Would look great having MP-10 running him down, knocking him over. Otherwise, that's about all thrust did. So he can stand, so he can do what thrust did. Yeah, I mean, he looks fine. He just doesn't feel fine. Like most of the MP-11NT Seekers, he's very floppy in general. This chest, while tighter than Starscream's, still does have a tendency to come up. Something, once again, little plug here, it was fixed on the BB-7 knockoffs. Love those things. My only real issue with him, as far as aesthetics, because I think he looks fine, is the fact that he had 2 Decepticon symbols visible in robot mode, 3 in jet mode. Now, the way the instructions have you transform him, he has 4 visible in robot mode, and 5 visible in jet mode. Now, the reason this is like this is because on the animation model, in robot mode, he had symbols here and here. And in jet mode, he had symbols here and here. And obviously the one on the back of his head, on the nose cone. For some reason, it's a Takara Tomy model exclusive, but Hasbro Asia is pretty much distributing it. So I guess Hasbro Asia decided to print the Decepticon logos on the top of the tail fins for some reason, and have you rotate them into robot mode instead of just printing them on the bottom. I mean, that's a little gappy, but you can put a Decepticon logo right there, and I think it looked fine. That may be something I do myself with an alcohol wipe and a repro label. We'll see. As for the ones on the wings, there is a solution, but it would have added parts count, so I see why they didn't do it. If you remember, for those that have him, Ramjet has that turbine on the bottom of his wings that kind of flips up, turns over, flips back down. Could have done a panel like that here to hide those in robot mode, and it would have been about as accurate as you can get with thrust. But yeah, overall, I don't regret the purchase. I'm always happy to have another Seeker, but not as excited as I thought I'd be, and honestly not nearly as excited as I will be when Inferno comes in, because yeah, who doesn't love Inferno? So there we have MP-11NT New Jetron Warrior Masterpiece Takara Tomy Thrust.